Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rachna Shanbag Moite, a pediatric immunologist and rheumatologist, and in today's video we shall be discussing about a young girl with recurrent fevers and how we made a diagnosis in this case.
So recently I saw a 4-year-old girl who presented with history of recurrent episodes of fever for the past 6 months. During these episodes of fever, she also had some oral ulcers and neck swellings, and she had been receiving oral antibiotics on several occasions. When we went into the detail of the fever, the mother very characteristically mentioned that this girl would have fever for 4 to 6 days every month. However, she would remain well, playful and active during the interfebrile period. There was no history of coryza or cough, no history of weight loss, and the child was growing well. Few occasions she would also recover without receiving any treatment. Now the mother had meticulously noted down the dates on which the child had developed fever over the last 6 months. And as you can see, this child has been developing fever every second week of the month, and the fever lasts for about 4 to 5 days, indicating that there is some periodicity to the type of fever. Moving on, when we examined this child, we found that she was a well-grown child. She had some few oral ulcers, throat was mildly congested, and there was upper cervical lymphadenopathy. The possibilities considered was, could this be recurrent viral fevers? However, there was no cough or coryza. Could this be tuberculosis? However, the short episodes of fever and the well-grown child were odd for tuberculosis. Also, could this be an autoimmune or autoinflammatory disease? When the child was investigated, we found that the CBC showed some neutrophilic leukocytosis, elevated CRP and ESR, blood culture was sterile, and even a throat swab was performed, which was sterile. Workup for several infections were negative, ANA by IF was negative, and even a MAN2 test was found to be negative. We asked the mother to come back with a CBC, ESR, and CRP during the interfebrile period. And as you can see, the CBC is normal, and so is the CRP and ESR. Now, with this background history of periodic fevers, aphthous ulcers, lymphadenopathy, elevated CRP and ESR, which becomes normal in interfebrile period in a well-grown child, we made a diagnosis of PFAPA syndrome. PFAPA stands for periodic fever, aphthous stomatitis, pharyngitis, and adenitis syndrome. PFAPA is the most common recurrent fever syndrome in children. It is an autoinflammatory disorder where there are short episodes of fever lasting about 4 to 6 days, and these episodes of fever repeat every 28 to 30 days. They can be associated with oral ulcers, non-exudative tonsillitis, adenopathy, and abdominal pain. Characteristic is elevated inflammatory parameters during the short episodes of fever, which come back to normal during the interfebrile period, indicating that there is acute bouts of inflammation in the body. The treatment is offering these children with short courses of steroids and other drugs like cimetidine, colchicine, and anakinra, and there is some role of performing a tonsillectomy. Now, one must also know when to not think of PFAPA. If a child presents with recurrent fevers and with presence of neutropenia, hepatosplenomegaly, or generalized lymphadenopathy, this must not be considered to be a PFAPA syndrome. Thank you.